Okay, we made it through the bye week. It is back to game week. Little different. Midweek on the mountain.
It's midweek madness on the mountain.
Don't go changing. They have a whole marketing campaign. Don't mess it up, Joe.
Yeah, just focus on what your email is.
Right.
Okay, now I'm going to ask about your whole deal with Alcova Mortgage. So if you want to start looking up the email now, we'll talk for the next 20 minutes and then you can.
Joe's he's got it tattooed on his forearm.
No. Look it up. Warren, look it up for me real quick.
Yeah.
I need it.
Okay, it's midweek on the mountain, and we are going to have a game here at Williams Stadium on Thursday.
Let's go, baby.
This is the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. Thanks so much for watching or joining us. We have a great interview. She might be a little terrified of us. I don't know what guest is it when they leave here, but Ivy Garner of women's soccer. Hopefully this doesn't
That's just a great
show.
soccer name.
That is a great.
Ivy Garner.
If she scored, what would your call be? I guess that would be Matt's.
Yeah.
That'd be Matt's call.
What are you doing?
How would you do the call? Goal!
No, everybody does goal.
Everybody does that. Gardner!
Gardner! Ivy! I go Ivy, and then you go Gardner.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so that's a great conversation coming your way. Please.
Yeah, that's why we don't do soccer.
You're not getting any calls anytime soon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we will not be on the broadcast on Thursday.
No. We will be a part
however,
of it.
we will be a part of.
I bet they won't. I bet that sideline reporter won't put the clown mask on.
I don't think that they have a sideline reporter.
They don't?
No, they haven't.
I think you should still be there on the sideline in the mask, even if
just
walking around.
I don't need to have the mask to look like I'm wearing the mask at this point in my life. But
do we have to go through this again? Special people like you.
Okay, so I'm going to get to my point without being interrupted. We are going to be a part of a broadcast. There's a pregame show that we're doing, Game Day.
Flame Central Game Day.
Flame Central Game Day.
Hour before kick on Facebook, Twitter,
X,
whatever, and on YouTube, live on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out.
Pre-game show.
Joe's on the desk this week. He's bringing the heat.
Yep.
Emily's interviewing Conference USA insiders.
Yes.
I'm talking to the coaches pregame. We also, I think, did we mention this last time? Last game, we now have the capability, and we did it in the last time we did the show, to talk to a Liberty player live during warm-ups on the field.
Yeah.
So cool.
Bentley Hanshaw, I had the earpiece in, talk to him, so we'll get it, field pass, we'll get down there with the players. Like, it's everything you need to get ready for the game.
So be sure you tune in, Flame Central Game Day.
And then after the game's over, you watch the pregame show.
Yep, right.
Then after the game's over, all these things will play out, and then you can tell all your friends, I heard it first on Yacht Talk.
Right.
That's all you do.
Okay, always circles back. We also have some great updates with our Flames fantasy, or no, not Flames fantasy.
No, we have
Well,
no.
yes.
Oh, we have to do
gotta
that.
make some moves.
We have to make some moves.
Roster
so I'm
moves
going
are
to be on
coming.
the hot seat for that. Bold predictions. You know when I say there's a mailbag and you can do your questions, comments,
Where do
concerns?
they send it to?
You can also send scoring systems for bold predictions. Wait until you hear this breakdown of what we're going to do with bold predictions moving forward. What's our guy's name?
Jeff Snell.
Jeff. Thank you.
The Snell scoring system.
Isn't
Called
Snell?
the Snell scoring
Snell
system.
is part of Ozark, right? Is he part of the Ozark?
The
Snell?
I don't know.
The Snell family in Ozark? Anyway, you're from Missouri. I thought you.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, that is Flames Central at Liberty.edu.
Send us your questions.
Send us your questions. Up first, though, we have Sam Houston, the Bearcats. Are coming to the mountain. What do we think about this game? We heard Coach Chadwell say 0-4, don't look at their record because they are more talented than that.
They are. They've played a tough schedule. That's something that he also said. They played BYU, Air Force, Houston, and then finally played a CUSA game. So a similar opponent in Jacksonville State last Thursday.
Dropped
lost
the ball on that,
35-28 in overtime.
Overtime.
So you look, we talked last week about their offense. It's not good. Defensively, though, they held BYU to 14 points. They held Air Force to 13 points. Air Force, remember, the top rushing team in the nation. So their defense has been pretty good before last week's game. So that is one thing to keep an eye on. Offensively, last in the nation in points per game, last in the nation in yards per game, third to last in rush yards per game. They had struggled prior to last week offensively. It'll be interesting to see if they've found something that they can build on.
28.
Right, if they can build. This is a team that, like, they were an elite FCS program. Like, they were making the national championship game. They're not used to being in this situation.
Right.
They're better than this.
And they weren't just elite. They were elite offensive football team when they were in the FCS.
Yeah, so
it's there.
They're going to get better. Yeah. They're going to continue to improve. However, I think if Liberty plays it B B game. You know, they should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville State scored 14 in the fourth to push them to overtime. So we'll see how that defense goes up against Caden Salter and the offense. But coming off a bye, any concerns, or did they get enough? You know,
Chadwell was concerned.
Yeah.
He said, you never know when you give guys a couple of days off. He's like, you never come back and are as sharp as you were before they left.
Right.
There's always stuff you have to work
And it's a different routine. You know, I feel like this staff and most staffs, I'm sure, are very routine oriented.
And players
things are going to be thrown off with this Thursday game.
And most importantly, it's that time of the year. When you take these college kids who are 18 to 21, 22 years old, and you put them through camp, and then they get all fired up, and you put them through those first games. You always get, and now you're in the grind of school, you're in the grind of practice, and when you're a little bit younger, these guys aren't professionals, a little bit younger, a little bit more mature, and you watch college football in general. You start getting this time of year, it's like, who just beat who? Like, what just happened? So the good teams cannot let their guard down and show up week in and week out, because this is the beginning of upset season. Every year, this makes college football great. Every year in college football, you start seeing these things happen. So the good teams don't let that happen. So we'll see.
Hopefully playing at home for Liberty, right? A night game, the uniqueness of it. We expect, at least for the students, to be out of control.
School is out. No classes afternoon.
Yeah, so like kids are just getting all hyped up. So hopefully the environment and all of that will help.
A lot of folks.
Will help kind of lock them in a little bit. But yeah, I'm with you. This is that time of year. And then, Liberty has that quick turnaround. So you also have to be focused here and not be worried about on Tuesday, you're playing somebody else and not being worried about, okay, what do I need to do to get ready for the next one before you take care of business Thursday night?
Yeah, which that opponent, Jacksonville State, they play Wednesday against Middle Tennessee. So it's just, it is, I am never going to be able to get used to these midweek games. But Midweek on the Mountain, great marketing
How is it looking for ticket sales? We don't know. Things looking well?
I'm telling you, if I know these Liberty students,
will they stick around?
It's going to be bananas.
I think so.
It's going to be.
So you're saying Banana Man will probably
Banana Man could be in the stadium.
In the house. That's important.
If not, Joe.
Yeah, Banana
I
Man.
think you need to take it upon yourself to assume that mantle. Get the banana suit.
I'd do it.
I know you would.
Yeah.
I know you would.
The people
There's
want
a void.
The people
if there's a void,
if there's a
you
void,
can step
I
in.
will deliver.
Yeah.
The people want a pregame show. I have the
Pregame
suit
show,
on.
banana suit.
I'll be looking nice and sharp and tight, and then I'll go right into that.
Oh no, I say wear the banana suit for the pregame show.
Hey, you should.
Yeah.
You get that one past Rep.
Yeah, Rep may not go for that.
He may not.
He may not go.
Hey, that might get all
Can
the.
you imagine me in the banana suit talking
the most
serious
viewers
football?
that we've, that can just build the audience. You
It
know?
would.
So
No, it's
you
like
never
Superman.
know.
I come out of the restroom and all of a sudden
Right, and
I'm
you're in the banana suit.
Okay, so like we said, no classes afternoon, so the game day vibe hopefully will be there.
Yeah.
Flames Nation, show up, show out.
Nice weather.
Beautiful weather.
Beautiful
Get here.
weather,
Tailgate.
tailgate.
Yeah, come on.
It should be really nice. Okay, let's move on to a little NFL talk. Demario Douglas, you see that move?
Was that what that was?
Was it a skirt?
Am I going?
I'll tell you, he
I'm
broke
going
that
here.
dude's
No,
ankles.
I'm going
He
here.
had a 42-yard reception
Broke the
and
ankles.
broke the ankles of a Dallas defensive back. Now, he only had one other catch for 3 yards. Not many catches going around in that New England offense these days.
Not a
They
great
got-
offense.
Lost 38-3.
They got issues at the
Yeah, they got
quarterback
some
position.
issues there. But
As long as Demario's out of the doghouse, the worst place to be is in Billy's doghouse.
right.
you don't
So, hey, he showed that explosiveness that we all talked about. And that was a highlight reel play.
Are we over the Taylor Swift movement? I couldn't even watch Sunday Night Football because every single time I turned it over, it was just all about Taylor Swift and watching football. Like, why do we care?
My daughter, Gracie's a true Swiftie.
Oh, this is the bottom line.
Yeah, this is the bottom line. We talked about this last night, but she's just. I texted her last night and I said, I don't know if I can take all these bandwagon Swifties.
Yeah.
And the Swifties are starting to get a little bit upset with the bandwagon Swifties.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This thing might turn out ugly.
This is like,
the ending to this may not be
This
pretty.
is turning into like every World Cup season
Yeah.
when all these people that don't care about soccer
Yeah.
are suddenly
Yeah.
like, oh, how'd
Yes.
USA lose again? All these soccer
yes.
diehards are like, you don't know what you're talking about. You can't get on the
Yes,
bandwagon
it
now.
causes- it causes a
There's a little
rift.
friction.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little friction.
Okay.
Let me say this though. Last week, Joe pushed his new little catchphrase hard, right?
Yeah.
Hashtag
Yeah.
bottom
Hashtag
line.
line.
We've had some pushback from fans on this.
What?
So
What do you mean we've had pushback?
I've never been a professional wrestling fan. I deal in reality. But apparently, this was a line from like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And people are like, oh, Joe Yock wants so bad to be Stone Cold. He's ripping off his line.
I didn't even know that.
So
Dang.
I know
That hurts.
I know. So
I didn't know that.
because here's
Okay.
another idea I
I
had.
mean,
I don't know if we can do
I
this
don't want to rip
now.
off Steve Cole's
Is what if with the next creation of the Flame Central podcast mugs, at the very bottom, you get #bottom line. So when you finish that coffee, what do you see?
I don't know. Does Alcova Mortgage have the money to
bottom
add
line
that
written on the bottom
line?
of the mug?
Okay. You guys have real money, I heard.
We do.
To give away.
We do. We have. That's a great. What a lead. We have great Liberty alumni. We are doing.
You're moving. You're making some moves, Joe.
We're making moves.
You're helping the people.
We got a couple deals going.
Yeah.
We potentially have a couple deals going. Liberty alumni are going to actually save real money in the back of their pockets, up to $5,000 off closing costs. If you're a Liberty alumni and you're looking to purchase or refinance us, you got to take advantage. All you got to do, it's easy. We have our own landing page designed for this, right? You just go to, where do you go to, Matt?
Okay. I don't know if this is the right place, but it's the one we've been giving. alumnicommunity.liberty.edu.
That's it.
Wait, say it one more time.
alumnicommunity.liberty.edu.
Sign up,
Sign
get on
up.
board.
Okay.
Get on board.
100%.
Yeah, because it's powered by Alcova Mortgage. Okay,
Bam.
we are going to switch up our players for the Flames fantasy in just a moment. But first,
Big news there.
big news. We're going to first go to this conversation with women's soccer's Ivy Garner.
Ivy.
We have women's soccer in the house. Ivy Garner, it is great to have you here
Ivy.
on the show.
Let me tell you something about
Oh,
Ivy before
boy.
we get started.
Okay, here we go.
Before we get started, you know what I really like about? I just met Ivy, but you know what I really like about Ivy? She already understands that it's sweater weather.
Oh, yeah.
It's sweater weather. So, let me hear you say sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Turn your
Love
phone
it.
off, Joe.
Love it,
I mean,
love it,
every
love
single
it.
week you would think that he would get it from now on, but
It's off.
I guess not. Unfortunately, you guys dropped Saturday's game, but what women's soccer has
I
been
feel like we are partly to blame.
I do.
We booked
the
this.
jinx.
I know.
And then
Yeah.
it was 24 straight. Unbeaten
Ah,
for 24 straight.
That's
But you know what?
crazy.
Maybe this can serve as a good rallying point to kind of
Right.
refocus.
We
lock
have a
back
lot
in.
to say
Joe,
about
do you
New
need to take
Mexico
a call,
State.
Joe?
I
Do you
know.
have
I
an
mean,
email
it's
that
an
you need to take,
email.
or?
I think it might have
Just
something to do.
relax.
If you are looking to buy a home,
That's a new
No.
account. That's a new account alert. Let's do this right now. That's a new account alert from a Liberty alumni for the Liberty alumni deal.
Ivy, I'm sorry.
Ivy, I'm
Ivy,
so sorry.
Ivy,
that
when you buy
had
your
to-
first home, you call Joe Yock, and we're going to save you real money.
Okay.
Okay, we'll
It's
talk
not
about
fake
that.
money. We'll talk about that
in
later.
just a
Yeah.
moment. But
One thing at a time.
Liberty unfortunately dropped Saturday's game against New Mexico State. Like Matt said, 24 unbeaten. It was a D1 record at the time, but that's
Wow.
okay. Sometimes, you know what I always say, Ivy?
Oh boy.
There are lessons in losing.
Definitely.
You know, so I don't know what God is trying to teach this team right now, but what do you
Something
think it
she's
is?
very familiar with.
Well, I mean,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
no, Coach
Sorry.
Lang said it really well after the game. He said this can either be like the best thing that happened to us or the worst thing that happened to us. So like what the most important thing now is our response to this. And so that just like really helped us put into perspective that we can use this for good. Like this can make us better. And so like obviously losses are really hard, but there's a lot of positive that can come from them.
What do you think it was about that game? Was it just one of those games that you guys, everything was off, or how would you explain the game?
Yeah, everything did feel off a bit. We just weren't executing in the way that we have been. And it was a battle out there. I mean, it was really like an aggressive game. Everyone was fighting, not in like a punching way, but like fighting for the ball.
Well,
you know?
we've heard there's some bloodbaths around, you know, some games around here, so we don't want it to be a bloodbath. but-
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was just a little bit off in a way. We had a lot of great
we should
opportunities.
Focus on the negatives.
why are we?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. We need to shift gears.
You're
here.
11
I'm
and
sorry,
1.
Ivy.
You're 11 and 1 this year. We're
11
talking
and
about the
1.
1. What do you
Wow.
feel like for this team? I mean, you were here last year. Now this season, do you feel like you guys have gone like taking it up a level? Like, what's different about this year's team? What do you feel like has allowed you guys to have so much success here this season?
Well, we had a lot of great talent come in for one, and our team has just gotten so much stronger, like in our relationships, and I think that like that fuels the way that we can play on the field because we have such a good culture, and so I think that's a huge part of our success this season.
Ivy, what position do you play on the pitch?
I play
You
forward,
would think that he would do some sort of
you wouldn't.
research.
wide forward,
You play what? Forward?
wide forward,
Wide forward.
Yeah.
She
You're
is
on the
number
right
2
side
on the
or,
team
are
in
you
goals.
right side or left side?
left side.
You're left side forward.
Yeah.
So you're fast. You got wheels.
Yeah, she just shrugged.
She's so, yeah, I know.
I run as fast
this
as I
one.
can.
Yeah, you're fast. You got wheels. That's impressive. That's impressive. How have you done? What year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore, and you're from where?
North Carolina.
Where in North Carolina?
Hillsborough.
The folks want to know. They don't know this stuff. They're not talking about Ivy. We want to learn a little bit more about Ivy. You're from where in North?
Hillsborough.
Hillsborough. Oh, right outside Chapel Hill. Yeah, let's go Heels.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, actually, on that topic.
Joe played at UNC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And not soccer.
Yeah, at bowling.
Yeah, I was on the bowling team. I was on the pickleball and disc golf team.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Pickleball.
No, so wait, so you're speedy, you're fast. What is the strength of what would you say on the Liberty soccer team right now? Like you guys are hanging your hat on something. What is the strength of your team? Who are you giving the shout out to right now?
Well, I would say as a whole, like we have incredible work ethic. I think that's something that like sets us apart from other teams, just the way that like we fight for each other, and it's clear that like we are playing for God in the way that we play. I think that's something that definitely sets us apart.
That's a solid answer.
Your story of how you got here, we were chatting a little bit before, is really interesting.
Wait till you hear this, Joe.
Can you share?
Stay seated.
Yeah, can you share the story of how
in the studio for less than
you did not think Liberty was going to be where you came, or where you didn't even know if you were going to play? Tell us the
I
story.
never even considered it. Yeah, so I was committed to NC State for soccer. I'm not gonna
Let
say
her
that.
tell the story.
I had a
Joe.
boo, and you say NC State, I'm booing.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Wait till you hear the end of the story.
Yeah.
You're booing the
So I was
Tar
committed
Heels.
to NC State. My senior year, I committed to NC State, my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And I was about like a week and a half from moving into NC State. And UNC was always my top choice for soccer. And my oldest brother, Eli, he played there. And so
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Eli, that guy's
Yeah.
a stud.
Yeah, he is. And so the coaches reached out to my brother showing interest in me. They couldn't reach out to me because I was already committed to a school. So they told him that if I wanted to talk to them and the possibility of going there for soccer, then I'd have to decommit from NC State. And so, like I said, UNC was always my top choice. So I pretty immediately decommitted from NC State in hopes of.
Wow, I hope we aren't giving away any NCAA violations,
Oh, gosh.
UNC.
You know,
Don't get me in
They've
trouble.
always been a little
I'm not trying to
shady.
get anyone else in trouble
No,
either.
I'm
they've always
kidding.
been a little
I'm
shady.
kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the people that went there.
Oh my gosh.
Let her tell the story.
Oh, now.
Okay, go. Keep going. I'm really interested in this story.
So I decommitted from NC State, started talking to UNC coaches, and I was invited to an ID camp as like a possible recruit. And so I went there, and I ended up playing like terrible. I blew it. I absolutely blew it. But
it gets better.
It gets better.
Yeah.
So I was a mess. I was like completely broken. I like didn't know.
Were you crying?
Oh yeah,
Lots of tears.
lots of days.
Gosh,
lots
don't
of
make her
tears.
read.
It's okay. It's okay.
I get a little choked up thinking about it. Okay, go. Keep going. Sorry.
So it was really hard for me because I felt like I had just like ruined such an amazing opportunity for myself, and I didn't know like why I did that, like what went wrong. And so it brought me a lot closer to God because I had like a foundation of like a relationship with God, but it wasn't very strong. And so this situation like made me go to God and ask him a lot of questions about like what was going on, why this was happening. It just really forced me to like depend on him. And so at this point I had no school to go to because I had
We know
decommitted
where
from
this story
state.
is. We know where this story's going.
UNC kind of ghosted me
Yeah.
after the way I played. I don't blame him. And so I didn't really have anywhere to go, but I knew that if I was going to go to school, I wanted to go to a Christian school. And so I was talking to my mom about that. I was like, I need the Lord right now. Like I need to go somewhere I'm going to be surrounded by like-minded Christian people. And she was like,
And not play soccer.
yes, and not play soccer.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, whoa. Not
yeah,
play
I
soccer.
forgot to mention
Oh,
that.
this broke you
No,
down.
it broke me to
Oh
the point
my
where I
gosh.
didn't even want to play soccer anymore.
Stop.
I was like, this is not for me. Like, I can't handle this. And so I just wanted to go to a Christian school, just go there for education only. And so I told my mom that I wanted to go to a Christian school, and she said, my client the other day actually mentioned Liberty. Have you heard of it? And I was like, I've heard of it, but like I don't know much about it. And she was like, you should look into it. And so I ended up applying to Liberty just for school, like no soccer in mind. And I got into Liberty, was accepted. And then later down the road, my mom was like, you should reach out to the soccer coach and see if you can like practice with a team.
You have a smart mom.
Or
So she rang
Mom knows
Lang.
what's up.
Yes.
Mom knows
She
what's
rang
up.
Lang.
She slow played it.
Yeah.
Did you
she
see
did.
that
She's
show?
so smart.
She rang Lang.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Okay, keep going.
So she told me to send Lang an email
Yeah, so she rang Lang.
and
I
see
did
if
not
I
steal her
could
joke.
either just practice with the team or do a walk-on tryout, because she was like, you are gonna want to play soccer, like you're gonna miss it. And I was like, no, like I can just like run on my own or like lift or something. Like I don't need to play soccer.
You have
Yeah,
too
true.
much competitive fire in you, Ivy.
Yes.
You have way too much competitive fire. So tell the rest of the story.
So my mom knew that.
Yeah, she
and
knew that.
she
Mom's
said,
smart.
Moms know
you
everything.
need to email Lang. So I said, okay, I will.
So you rang Lang.
So I did. I rang Lang, and he answered, and
We worn that one out.
he welcomed me with open arms. He said
did,
that he
didn't
knew
he?
me and that he'd love to have me.
Oh, my
and I came on an
goodness.
official visit, and the rest is history. Exactly.
And,
I'm
and then
here.
you just all you do is go to on to be ace on all freshman team, second team all conference. So yeah, it worked out for everybody.
Yeah. It was
yeah.
crazy the way God closed some doors and then opened others, and it just really like showed me that I need to always have faith, because He is working everything
Yeah.
for good, and He always like comes through on His promises. So
How do you approach the game of soccer differently now after all of that than you did maybe when you were a senior in high school, thinking you
Yeah.
were going someplace else?
What a good question.
there's a lot more freedom in it, because I know that my identity is not in soccer anymore, and that whole situation, like I said, it brought me really close to God, and it showed me that my identity has to be in God if I'm playing this sport. So it gives me a lot more gratitude when I play, because I'm so thankful that I am able to play and that God has given me these gifts, and He obviously wants me to be playing. So I just feel really blessed to be here.
I mean, think about how cool it is that that happened so young in your
Yeah.
career, too. Because if that happened when you were like, let's say a junior, senior, later on in your college career, and then you graduate and then you don't have an opportunity, you know,
Right.
it's just neat that He planned that to happen so you can actually, you know, play 4 years of college with that
Yeah.
freedom. That's really neat.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, see, that's what the good thing about Liberty is. You got all these people that want to go to these big-time fancy programs with all their shine and glitz and glitter all over them, right? And then guess what happens? Lord works it out where you end up at Liberty. And tell the folks how happy you are now.
So happy.
Okay, so whenever we had Bridie Herman on last season, I know she's a defender, but she was scoring some goals. So I was talking to her about what her post, goal celebration was, and she really didn't put much thought into that, and it made me a little upset. But what is your game or goal
You're
celebration?
gonna be disappointed.
Oh no, there has got to
We
be.
need a little more. We need some
No,
swag.
I know.
Yeah.
I am not the person.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
that.
that's
Like,
why
I wish
I'm
I
here.
was.
Someone,
Oh my
you need to
gosh.
run over to the sidelines, and someone needs to put their sweater over your shoulders, and you'd be like, "Sweater weather."
that's
Actually a great one.
Okay, that's a good idea. I'll consider.
Yeah.
You have to have a camera, right? And you just look in the camera and say, sweater weather.
Okay. I'll do that one for you.
We need to get maybe a choreographer from the theater department, send down there or something.
That's,
Something.
that's actually not.
Because
Yeah.
what did I want Bridie to do? I was like, well,
I think it was the bird.
The
right?
bird.
Because
Because
said
people
call
say,
her bird.
Yeah, I call her bird.
people call her Birdie, so if she was,
Yeah, kind of.
That would be
yeah.
yeah, but she, clearly hasn't found the back of the net since. No, I'm kidding.
She's like, I'm not scoring, so I don't have to answer any more of these questions.
Oh my gosh.
It's getting really hot in here.
You've talked about though before the game. There's some people that bring the energy to kind of hype you guys up. Now,
yes.
I've seen pictures, our photography team and all that, and there's always one player every game that looks like she's just losing her mind. In the middle, you guys are surrounding her. It's always she's like
my
mid-scream. Who is this person
So is
and
this
what does she
pregame?
do? Yeah, pregame.
Pregame.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to my girl Annie. She is gonna love that I'm talking about her
Okay,
right now.
good.
She probably is gonna wish she was sitting right here in the
Yeah.
middle of this table.
Yeah.
She brings the energy on our team
I love it.
every day, no matter if she's on 1 hour of sleep, no matter if she's had exams all day. Her energy never changes, and I love that about her so much. Before every game, she is dancing her head off in the locker room for 20 minutes straight, drenched in sweat. And our whole team literally just watches her and hypes her up and takes videos of her. And
She just goes.
It sounds
she
really
goes.
familiar.
She does
goes.
not
Yeah.
stop. She'll start rapping and we have a
A
microphone
rapper.
and she'll be rapping and dancing at the same time. And
We need some.
Wait, you have a
Oh
microphone?
my
Are these videos
God.
posted
Oh my
anywhere?
gosh.
Do you do karaoke?
they're on TikTok.
Okay.
There's
Oh,
Bridie posted
Yeah,
one on
okay,
TikTok that
we'll
is
have to go
so funny.
Yeah, well.
And I have a ton on my phone.
We gotta check some of those out.
It is hilarious. It never gets old. Oh my gosh.
Do you have a karaoke machine with a microphone in the locker room?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
Do you guys do karaoke?
Annie is really the only one who does it.
It's really for just
She
for
doesn't
Annie.
hand over
Yeah.
the mic.
No, yeah. We just watch her and she just entertains herself.
She seems really shy. Do you and Rachel DeRuby have like a bet going on? Well, I don't think you guys can bet because it's whatever. But
Friendly wager.
yes, on like who's going to end the season with the most goals on the team.
Oh my gosh, no.
No?
Rachel probably will. I love Rachel. She's
She
the best.
talk about quick.
Oh my gosh.
She's
She's
quick.
ridiculous.
She's speedy.
So, the way she like maneuvers out of like 3 defenders and always comes out with the ball, I'm like,
And she's a shouty.
oh yeah.
She's like 5'2"
Yeah.
maybe. So she just
She works it.
Yeah.
Now, you guys,
Cool.
next up, you head down to Miami,
Yes.
take on FIU
Welcome to
this
Miami.
weekend.
My name
I
is
mean,
Miami.
don't get caught up in all the nightlife and all of that. How do you make sure?
Yeah, no, you need to make sure Annie doesn't.
Yeah, keep Annie.
Yeah.
Don't let Annie get out there.
Hey, you know those little backpack leashes?
She might be
You
made
need to
for
keep
Miami.
Annie
Yeah,
on
she
it.
does. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
she might be made for that.
Or no
But
clubbing.
how after you drop one, it's been so long. How just like anxious are you to you just want to get back out there again even faster than you would
Yeah,
normally? Like
I
just get
think-
this taste out of your mouth.
Yeah, I think we're all really excited to just not prove ourselves, but just like be back on the field and be able to just show what we've learned from even last game and just have another great week of practice where we can grow from it.
Also, FIU, I think they are like right tied with you guys or
bet
half
they
team
are.
up in
Yeah, I
the
would
standings.
guess.
So it's a big
Florida
game in
teams are
terms of
good.
the standings
Yeah.
as well.
No, it'll be a good game.
We got
I'm
something
excited.
for
I'm
'em.
putting my money on y'all.
We got something for him.
Have you ever gotten in a fight on the soccer field?
Before I came to Liberty,
You did.
Oh,
See?
I used to be like,
Were you a mean girl on the field before?
I used to be.
You did?
Yeah, I used to get like a yellow card every game.
Did you?
Yeah.
And
What-
now,
what-
whenever
wait,
you do a
wait,
slide
wait,
tackle,
hold
you go, bless you, child.
yeah.
No, God like really changed my heart because I never thought like I could have as much composure as I do now.
Wow.
And like not get like crazy when girls are yanking my jersey. I don't know if y'all saw last game, but the girl like had my whole jersey in her hands and like threw me, and I just like I kind of just smiled and I was like, wow, I have changed. Thank you, Lord. Like, wow, this is not me. Oh my God.
So what would old Ivy done?
Oh, I would have got up, shoved her, cussed her, you know.
All the stuff.
Yeah, all the bad
What
stuff.
happened on the fight? Let's hear about the fight.
I mean, it wasn't like one, like you in my past, you're saying?
Yeah.
There wasn't like one
You were
instance.
just
It was just like,
generally.
yeah, like in the face
Yeah.
or like shoving, not like punches thrown.
Yeah, no punches.
No.
That's good. We don't need
Wow.
that.
We're not trying to bring up.
Yeah,
you
we're not
know,
bringing
old-
up past
Let's keep
skeletons.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want
You
to
moved
past
on.
skeletons.
You've left that behind.
Ivy Garner,
we're
thanks so much for
very,
coming
very
on. I'm
proud
sorry,
of
we
you.
are just completely
Hey,
out of
before
control.
she goes,
No, you're fine.
before she goes, could you pick up that mug? I have to do Joe's thing for him. Look into that camera. You're looking into the eyes of America. And would you
Yes,
say,
you are.
this is the Flame Central podcast, and then the last part, powered by Alcova Mortgage, is written on the back if you need a little like
she's got
cheat
it.
sheet
All
there.
right. I
Flame
might
Central
need that in
podcast,
a second.
powered by Alcova Mortgage.
This is the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Bam!
That was really good.
So good.
That was
So
with
good.
confidence. Yeah.
Ivy, get back out there on Saturday
Ivy. That's they chant in the stands when
and
she's
get back in the win column. I have no doubt you guys will. Thanks again for coming
Thank
on.
you guys so much.
I don't know if she's gonna come back, but I think she had a great time.
She had a
on
good time.
on the show. You know,
I can't
Did
wait to see her
did
do
she?
that.
I mean, I don't know.
She did.
It's always like, it takes a while whenever we have a guest on. Like, it takes about 5
have
minutes
to
into the interview
digest it.
for them to realize I might be the guest, but it's still about Joe.
Oh, stop
And so
it.
once they figure that part
stop
out,
it.
and they figure out I've got to let him get his little, like, as I'm trying to answer a question, I've got to let him just constantly, like, throw his stuff. Once they figure out the flow,
Then it goes.
Then they settle in. But it
Then it
does take a
settles
while
in.
where it's like, am I supposed to be here right now?
Stop. You know what?
the fact that he's saying that when
usually.
usually everything revolves around me, like that
I
makes me
mean-
happy. Thanks for taking one for the team,
Yeah.
Joe.
Appreciate you giving me a little cover there, Emily. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we have some exciting news. Flames Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
After week 4, we're allowed to drop a player. Who'd
Yep.
you pick up
Joe
again?
dropped Brian Whitehead, picked up
Robert-
Kendi Charles.
Yes. Yeah. Picked on Trout Sibley because
No.
Vaughn Blue got hurt.
No.
So I picked up Trout Sibley.
I completely forgot. That's who I was going to pick back
Oh,
up.
what a
she
shame.
just-
Oh,
we did
that's
this. We did
terrible.
this live on the podcast
I
last
feel
week.
horrible for you. What a shame.
Oh,
Yeah,
how
Kenny-
many points have you scored this
Kenny
year?
Trout,
Like
don't you worry.
40?
Don't
I
you-
scored that week 2.
Don't you worry about
Okay,
me.
okay.
Don't you
Wow,
worry
this
about me.
got personal real quick.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me just look up some of the defensive
So
players that we have.
let's set the scene, right? So Emily had
Set the scene,
Akeel
Matthew.
Washington.
Who was Brandon Bishop?
No one. Akeel, you guys made fun of me for making a bold prediction on a person that wasn't on the roster.
Yeah, how about
Akeel so badly wanted to get off Emily's fantasy team. He entered the transfer portal. That's truth. That's the story. He said,
hey,
I'm on a
Matt,
sinking ship here
that's the
on Emily
hashtag
Austin's
bottom
fantasy
line.
team. I need out.
That's the hashtag.
That's what I've
bottom
heard.
line.
So, bottom line, you've got to pick somebody up.
You're
Hashtag bottom
your
line.
This
player-
is
your
unbelievable
player-
that I take
Hashtag
this.
bottom
Your
line.
player had a transfer to leave your
Is he
team.
really in the portal, or did
Yeah,
he
That's
just?
what he said per
I
his
thought,
Twitter.
as long as he
Per
didn't
his
just
Twitter.
quit football
Per his
altogether.
Twitter. Per his Twitter.
Oh my gosh, I'll get Brandon Bishop.
Brandon Bishop. All
Yeah.
right. So you replace Akeel Washington with Brandon Bishop. That means now I get an opportunity to make a move.
You really gonna make a move?
Well, here's where I'm at, right? Yes, here's what it is. People say, oh, Matt, you're blowing them out. Why do you need to do this? Why would you want to mess with team chemistry?
Stay the
Because
course.
the great organizations are always looking for that next move. How can I improve 1%, 2%? That's what I'm looking at. So what I'm going to do
smallest
is I'm going to drop Kyle and Austin. Although, I will say this, I feel like he's getting ready to break one. They've been featuring him more in the offense
Then why are
lately
you dropping him?
because I need more consistency.
Joe.
I'm going to pick up Aaron Bedgood because he's more involved. And I think
Oh
also
my
with
gosh.
Von Blue out, I think that he'll continue to get some of the
This
carries
is-
and be involved in the
Matt
rush
did,
game.
Matt did
Okay,
show
I
me
wanna
in real
make another
fantasy
waiver
this week,
move.
too.
So it goes back to you. You have an opportunity, Joe. If you want to make another waiver move, you can do that.
I gotta look up something.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna make a waiver move.
Okay. What's it going to be?
I'm gonna drop Quentin Reese,
Wow.
and I'm gonna add Brylan Green on.
I have Brian Green.
Green's already on her team. Yeah.
Shit. Oh, shit. Sorry, Quentin. Stay on.
Hey, quit. Hey.
Will you please make some plays? Will you make some
I'm
plays?
taking that off and
Quentin.
sending it to Q.
Quentin,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been pumping your tires nonstop.
Yeah.
You make some plays, baby. Let's go. You got this. You got this.
All right. So we good? Or do you need to make another move?
Well, he doesn't. This is him.
Are you going to make you going to stay where you are? You've added Kenny Charles and Travis Sibley the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
those are good adds. I'm good with that.
The talent
I'm good
on
with
your
that.
roster has
So
gone.
now-
It's gone up. I'm good. I'm good.
So
with that.
now, wow, you are beating me in real fantasy, 159 to 85.
Yeah,
This is a
I
rough,
wasn't gonna
rough
bring that
life
up.
of mine. Wait, so now we can't make a roster move unless we have an injury until week 8?
Correct.
Right. After week 8, we can make another switch unless there's injury.
Okay.
You good?
Okay.
Are you
Well,
okay?
I guess I can't do anything. Oh,
You
if
could make
he's
another one right now.
skipped.
Yeah. But you got Quinn Cooley. You're not going to drop. CJ Daniels, stud. Brylan Green, playing great.
You have a good
Austin
team.
Henderson, doing fine. And now Brandon Bishop.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
you're
think
good. You're
Solid.
good. Come back. Is that what you smell?
Small comeback.
I smell a comeback.
All right, we'll see.
Here we go. All
We'll
right.
see.
We are going to, since I've been losing in real fantasy to Matt and in Flames fantasy to Matt,
been a tough week.
let's go somewhere called Bold Predictions where I am wearing the crown.
So here's the deal. Our buddy, as I mentioned, Jeff Snell, the Snell scoring system. He has broken down how he wants these
The
like
Snell
I
scoring
just got an
system
email from
is
him,
elite.
and the subject line just said accountability, and I thought, oh no, what's this? This could go a variety of ways.
And it is
Yeah.
an email
Yeah, what have I done?
this long.
He did some work.
I don't know what your day job is, Jeff, but if I'm your boss, I would be like, you need to
No.
put some more hours
you
in
know
because
what?
this
When you
guy's
run the
spending all
Snell
of his
scoring
time.
system,
Yeah.
when you run the Snell scoring system, it takes time.
It does
takes
take time.
effort.
You gotta
And it's
crunch the numbers.
appreciated. It's appreciated. yeah.
Powered by the
So,
Snell scoring system.
He has scored out through the first 4 weeks the winner of each week. He's like, you don't keep track of when you make a game score prediction. We need to keep track of it. I'm like, all right, that's fair. He's
fair.
scored the first 4 weeks. Currently, Emily's won 3 weeks.
Stop it.
Joe's won 1. I haven't won any.
Goose egg.
Goose egg.
Well, he's begging players that aren't even on the roster.
Well, yeah, that hurt me a little bit, but yeah, that was a setback. Yeah. So
he's going to get the game winner.
So Jeff's
not
going to
on the
help
team,
us
Matt.
keep track moving forward
With the Snell scoring
with the Snell scoring system. We've agreed to it.
Matt sent him a mug.
And I sent him a
send him a
mug.
mug?
Yep, sent him a mug already as thanks for that.
All the way out there in Idaho.
he's out in
Hopefully he
Idaho.
put some bubble wrap in there.
A lot of
long
the
way.
styrofoam peanuts.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
peanuts.
Same
So
difference.
yes, so all that to say, bold predictions this week.
Wow.
Okay.
You ready?
Well, no. Who do we play? No, I'm kidding.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah,
me to.
go.
Yeah,
He's
go
ready.
first.
He's
All right,
ready.
my bold
Since
predictions.
you
Let me
have
pull
to go
up
at
the
least,
email so that I can keep track of all of this. My bold prediction is I've got Elijah Smoot. See, here's what I think is going to happen.
Tell me where the party's at. Smoot. There it is.
Yeah.
Smoot. There it is.
Sam Houston's going to be like, we're going to take away the run. We're gonna put a bunch of guys down the box. We're gonna stop the run.
Okay.
And so Caden Salter's like, oh, that's fine.
You wanna do that?
Elijah Smoot,
Give me a
Give me a little. Give it to me. Yep.
He does like take
Yeah, there you go.
And then
Over the top.
Over the top.
Wide Smoot, big game. Over 150 yards, 2 touchdowns for Smoot. And Liberty wins. I hadn't thought about the score. Liberty wins 38-13.
wow.
See, I was in, my score is very close to that.
Okay,
but
you're
I'm,
in first place. I'm going next. Right? You go with that?
Go ahead, Joe.
He's in
Whatever
last
you need
place.
to do to feel
He's
better
in
about
He's in
yourself.
last place. I got to win.
Okay.
Then you go last. I'm going the opposite direction of Matt Warner. I'm going. You've talked about how Cooley hadn't scored any touchdowns.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he hasn't.
Cooley gets in the end zone 3 times.
Wow, he makes up for lost time. Huh?
It's bold and it's a prediction.
It's bowling ball season.
It's bowling ball. We're knocking over pins.
Yeah.
The bowling ball, the pinster.
You know what?
Quentin
I hope
Cooley.
you're right.
I hope
in the
I
end
do
zone.
hope you're right because my Flames fantasy
3
score will
times.
be off the charts.
I know.
next
3
week.
times. What's the final score?
And the final, this thing's closer than you think.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, this thing's closer than you think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 24-21 Liberty.
Wow. So he scores the only 3 touchdowns.
He scores 3 touchdowns. They're going to be 3 touchdowns, 24-21 Liberty.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
3 touchdowns and a field goal.
My final score is going to be 42-17. We're picking up right where we left
You're
off.
not giving the Bearcats credit on defense.
I'm just
They play
saying
good defense.
we're gonna pick
Okay.
up right where we left off. And then can I say that 3 Flames will have
This better be good. It better be bold. 3 Flames
over
will have
100
a catch.
total yards, and then 2 we'll have 2 interceptions.
Well, that's bold. So you're saying that you're going to have 3 different players, whether that's running
Or receiving.
Or receiving,
not
yeah.
throwing.
Total
running.
yards. That's
They'll
usually
have
what
the
total
3 different
yards
players
breaks down
with over
to.
100 yards.
Yeah.
And 2 interceptions on defense.
Yeah.
That's bold.
That's bold.
That's a
That-
prediction. I'll
and-
give you
That's a
credit
bold
for that
prediction.
one.
Yeah, we're really the only 2 that did a bold. Matt predicted, but ours were bold.
Yeah, they were much
I mean,
bolder.
150 receiving yards is pretty.
It's okay.
That's pretty.
Okay.
Whatever.
Are we
Anything
done?
else? There was one.
Flames Central at liberty.edu. Please send in your questions and comments. We'll send you a mug. Yeah.
Last question that we had in the mailbag came from Larry. He asked, "Where is Day Day Hunter?" And just to answer his question, we've had a few people ask that. Still in the portal. He's not anywhere right now.
Yeah.
So just to answer that, yeah.
I think he's out in Colorado.
That's where he's from originally.
And he's just like maybe training out there. But I
Yeah.
don't
So
know.
hopefully he can get healthy and
Find a home.
land someplace because obviously he was fantastic last year.
Yeah, just really quick. Some of the other games that played last week. Western Kentucky beat Middle Tennessee. Is that right?
Yeah.
31-10. Is Western Kentucky who we think
Yes.
they are? Okay. Because that loss to Troy.
They are who we think they are.
Yeah. I mean, I think they passed it, I want to say it was like 58 times in that game.
Yeah, they
Like
got
they're going to sling it. That's
Yeah.
the concern with them is like they haven't had a lot of success running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Can they be more balanced? Do they need to be more balanced? Like they're going to throw it all over the yard.
As we mentioned, Jacksonville State took down Sam Houston in overtime, 35-28.
And give Joe credit. He was on the Jacksonville State bandwagon,
Thank
started
you.
the year, said they're the
Yeah,
sleeper
thank
in
you.
Conference
Yeah.
USA, and they have lived up to that so
Yep.
far.
Yep. Heard it
Pump his
first.
tires.
Where'd you hear it first, Matt?
Yuck, yuck.
And then Friday, the win, La Tech over UTEP on Friday, 24-10. So
La Tech. They're
that's
good
kind of
too.
around the CUSA. Thanks so much for listening and watching. We'll be back here.
Friday.
It's a quick turnaround.
Friday.
It's a
We have
double
quick
dip.
turnaround.
It's a double dip.
You go
It's
to
a
the
double
game,
dip.
you
2
go to
weeks.
Midweek on the mountain. Oh, you get home late. You're dragging Friday morning.
No,
you make it to like lunch, and then guess
stay.
what? Bing! Oh, that's a Flame Central podcast.
Okay.
Oh,
it's
that'll
powered
pick
by
you up.
Alcova
That's
Mortgage.
right.
Oh.
What better to take you into the weekend than a Flame Central podcast
This one
powered
was
by
way
Alcova
too long.
Mortgage?
We'll see you on Friday,
Thank
guys.
you.